Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode with Liam, talking to y'all about birth control today. We've already talked about a few different kinds of birth control, so if you haven't seen them, check them out above. And especially if you haven't watched our episode about how birth control works in your body, check that one out first, just so you have some basic knowledge on what these hormones are doing to your body and how they prevent you from getting pregnant. The one we're going to be talking about today is called the NuvaRing, or the birth control ring. And it's a squishy ring made out of a silicone-like material that goes inside your vagina and releases hormones. This is the first one we've talked about so far that you have to do yourself. So you actually have to insert the NuvaRing yourself. The implant that goes in your arm, that's put in by a doctor. The IUD that goes in your uterus, that's inserted by a doctor. The Depo-Vera shot that we just talked about, that is administered by a doctor. So this one, you'll go to the doctors. They will, prescribe you the NuvaRing. They'll give you a 3-month supply, and then you have to go home and insert it into your own vagina. It does last a month. So once you insert it, it stays in your vagina for 3 weeks. At the end of 3 weeks, you take it out. You have your period, or a period type of thing. And then once that's over, you put a new one inside your vagina, and it hangs out there for another 3 weeks. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is a demo, and the real one that you would insert is actually clear, not blue like this guy is. But because it's a demonstration model one, it's blue just so you can see it better. It's squishy, if you can see. It's a little squishy. And it's the way you insert it is you squeeze it, twist it into like a figure 8, and then just gently insert it inside your vagina, and it hangs out in there. A lot of people I talk to are worried about this one for a couple of reasons. One, for some reason, a lot of people with vaginas are uncomfortable touching their own vaginas, and so they have a hard time thinking about inserting this ring in their vagina or taking it out of their vagina themselves. And so, I don't know why people have trouble touching their vaginas, because I don't have one. But if you are someone who's uncomfortable touching your own vagina, then this might not be the one for you, because again, you have to put it in and take it out yourself. And if you're uncomfortable with that, you're just probably not going to do it. I do, though, recommend, if you can, get comfortable with your vagina. It's going to be there for a while. And so you should, get used to it. Check it out, look in a mirror, see what it's like, because it's there. This one is about 91% effective with typical use. Again, because of user error, people forgetting to change it, things like that, it can become less effective. If you don't change it at the end of 3 weeks, it's going to run out of hormones and you can start getting pregnant. Some things to remember about it, if you're having sex while on it, which most people do, you can take it out during sex if you're uncomfortable having it in during sex, or if it falls out during sex. It happens. The penis just kind of jingles it out sometimes. Totally normal, totally fine. You do have to remember, though, to put it back in within 3 hours. If it's out of your body for more than 3 hours, it's going to start, your hormone's going to drop to below a certain level, and you'll just have to leave it out, have your period, and then, put a new one in once your period is over. I actually had a friend one time, she left it out overnight, and she got pregnant, which, it was unexpected, so it definitely was a struggle, but now she does have a beautiful kid. It's not like it's a terrible thing, but, we're using this to prevent pregnancy, and so we want to make sure we don't get pregnant while using it. So if you do take it out while you're having sex, totally fine. Wash it off with cold water before reinserting it, just to get any dust or grime off it. Leave it in, make sure you put it back in within 3 hours. Another thing to remember is talk to your partner about what kind of birth control you're on, especially with this one, because if you're having sex and it falls out of your vagina onto your partner, they may be concerned about it and be like, oh, what is that? And it's the kind of conversation we don't want to have during sex. We want to have before we have sex. Another thing to remember about this one is that when you go to the doctors, you will get a prescription for 3 months. So you'll get 3 rings. The first one will go inside your vagina and hang out for 3 weeks. But the other 2 have to actually be stored in the refrigerator, because this form of birth control, the hormones stay on the ring when it's cold, and when the ring heats up to your body temperature and gets warm, the hormones come off the ring. So if you were to just leave this hanging out in your bedroom, the hormones would all fall off the ring and they wouldn't be effective when you used it. So you do want to make sure you refrigerate it. Some people, this weirds them out. They don't want their birth control in their fridge. I don't think you should be weirded out by it. It comes in like a little package like this. So it's not like it's sealed. It's not going to get on your food. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So I don't think you should be worried about it. But again, not my body, not my choice. So if you are concerned about storing it in the refrigerator, maybe not the kind of birth control for you, think about another form. But this is a great form because it does last for a whole month. And so, the Depo-Vera shot lasts for 3 months, a bit longer, right? But this lasts for a whole month. So only once a month do you have to think about changing your birth control, which makes it much more effective. Lastly, this one is an estrogen-based birth control. So it does have some more of those side effects like fever, tenderness, things like that. All right, so that is all I have to say about the NuvaRing. We'll be back next time with talking about the patch. Have a good one.